Ragusa is a very insightful story, and I really enjoyed to be here. I think you are coming closer and closer to the hidden dimension, or the recipe of building a sustainable knowledge society. It was one of those societies that decided to have diplomacy instead of military forces. And today we see the importance of that kind of knowledge flow to sustain societies. And at the same time creating a very good living condition. And with the outlook for the Mediterranean, with the outlook of some of the global movements, Ragusa is in a geopolitical, extremely interesting position. And you are, in your eminent work as e-students, getting closer and closer to the knowledge recipe to share with the world through modern technology.
Dobro je riješila tu, recimo tako, konkurenciju u smislu negativnom, to znači da bi se neko istakao, knez se mijenjao svaki mjesec dana, onda nikomu nisu podizali spomenike, osim Mihu Pracatu u Kneževu dvoru, da opet ne bi koja obitelj se smatrala nekako privilegirana. Sve je bilo u smislu onoga općeg dobra, zanemariti privatne stvari, kao što piše obliti privatorum publica curate. Dubrovnik je bio vrata prema istoku. Papa i Rimokatolička crkva su smatrali da preko Dubrovnika mogu onda utjecati i na odnose i sa Srbijom i sa šire od toga.
Before they would go to school to Italy, and some of them would come back and use their knowledge and their yes, use their knowledge here in Croatia, in Dubrovnik. And now lots of young people are going away and staying there, not coming back to us.
Crkva je u tom dugom periodu bila u službi kulturnog i duhovnog napretka, što se vidi dobrom suradnjom Dubrovačke republike i crkvenih ustanova u smislu kulturnih dobara, školovanja nadarenih ljudi i ovdje, osobito u vrijeme kad je Isusovački red došao u Dubrovnik, osnovao ovdje Collegium Ragusinum i tu svoje najbolje sinove osposobljavao ne samo za teologiju, nego i za matematiku, za fiziku, astronomiju, a vrhunac toga, rekli bismo, studija bio je Ruđer Bošković, izdanak, sigurno poznatiji izdanak toga Collegiuma Ragusinuma i najpoznatiji učenjak podrijetlom Dubrovčan.
When it comes to intellectual capital, I think that Dubrovnik could be, it already is, but definitely there is a possibility of getting it to a higher degree of a town of knowledge, especially in the country of knowledge which Croatia is today and strives to become more of the part of the global learning. And Dubrovnik can only represent and will definitely be the next milestone in the development of intellectual capital.
Be out around the world having diplomatic relations with, what was it, about 80 different countries. More than Austria, exactly. And using that information in such a way that they could always stay ahead of competition. So that is probably something that we could all learn from. How can we connect to all the different stakeholders outside our own companies in order to use that information to stay ahead of competition? They manage that extremely well. One thing that we have not talked about so much here is the fact that the beginning of the decline of Ragusa was the great earthquake.
Yes.
And I was actually trying to see a connection between the great earthquake as a crisis such as the financial crisis of today. because perhaps there are some similarities there.
Yes.
Because what Ragusa lost was most of their leaders in this particular earthquake. They lost 5,000 people, I think. And most of all these wonderful buildings were just ruined. And they never actually really recovered from that.
Dubrovnik in the future. Successful, beautiful tourist city.
Don't accept any suggestion, but be open, listen, and question yourself.
Hello, everybody. What a pleasure it's been to be with you in the fourth session to study Dubrovnik and what it means. It's really been growing on me, both the city itself and its history and its wisdom, and you folks have really come alive this year. Each year has been wonderful, but there's been something very special in terms of what we've been able to do together, the responsiveness, the questions, the thoughts, the discussions. And I was very touched the way you wrote your letters to your grandchildren, and what you feel and what you hope they feel, how you hope that they'll see nature, the water, the mountains, and how you're trying to make a difference so they have a better chance of living their lives as you've lived your lives so very well.
So see you next year.
See you next year.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you.